Hello everyone, today we'll be identifying types of wavelengths on EEG according to the activity. So here we need alcohol swab and alcohol, and then we need the electrodes. The red one is the active electrodes, and the white one is the reference electrode, and the black one is the ground electrodes. This is the bioamplifier. And this is the display monitor that will display the wavelength of the patient. And this is the sticky enhancer that will stick to the electrodes and connects to the patient itself. And here we have our patient here. Then we're going to mark the Nasion part of the patient, which is between the eyebrow, and the Indian part, which is at here, the one that I show. Okay, and then we can measure it from the Nasion to the Indian part. And then at this patient, we measure at around 38 centimeters from the Nasion to the Indian part. So the location of the electrode, which is FZ, will be 20% of the distance, which is 7.6 from the Nasion point. And then we're going to clean the forehead of the patient here. And then we're going to place all the electrodes to the sticky adhesive. And then we plant the active electrodes in the mark that we have put, which is 7.6 centimeters from the Nasion, and then we're going to secure it with a medical tape. And then the location of the second electrode, which is the reference electrode, which is the white one, is going to be placed in the earlobe of the patient, so in the underside of the earlobe of the patient. Then we're going to stick it again with the sticky adhesion, and then we're going to fixate it with the medical tape once more. And then for the last electrode, which is the ground electrode, will be put in the muscle of the neck that is not innervated by the nerves or other parts. And then here we're going to start the recording of the activity of the wavelength of the patient. And then we ask the patient to close her eyes and also relax but not falling asleep. And we will record that activity, and we will then see what type of wavelength that was created by her being relaxed without sleeping. So here you can see the wavelength that was created in that phase of activity that the patient did. And then we ask the patient to open her eyes, and then next we ask the patient to do a calculation that stimulates the brain to create another wavelength, and we ask her to do a calculation of counting from 100 to 1 by the multiplication of 3. So here we ask the patient to do that calculations. Here is on display the wavelength that was created when she did calculations. And so we stop the recording. And then here is the display that happened when she was feeling relaxed without sleeping. And we can now select the wavelength of that activity, and we can see the average frequency of that wavelength. So here the average frequency is around 7, and 7 Hertz is classified as alpha wave. We will talk about it more in a minute. So now we can see the activity when she was doing calculations here. So then we will select the wave that was created when she did calculation, and we can see once again the average wavelength or the average frequency of the wavelength that was created when she did calculations. So here we can see a higher frequency. Here is around 12 Hertz, and 12 Hertz is classified as beta waves. So alpha and beta waves comes out in a person in different activities. So alpha waves usually present in a person that is relaxed but is not sleeping and is around 4 to 8 Hertz, while beta waves shows in a person where she is fully aware and is around 8 to 15 Hertz. So that is all for my presentation on identifying the different wavelengths in an EEG. Thank you so much for listening.